Your MRI says normal, but your brain feels broken. And here's the part nobody tells you. A normal MRI does not mean your brain is normal. It just means the test wasn't designed to see the kind of damage you actually have. So if you've been told everything looks fine while you feel foggy, exhausted, forgetful, or completely unlike yourself, stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why that happens, and more importantly, how to fix it. And here's the one mistake almost everyone makes after a concussion that quietly keeps their brain stuck. So let's start with the moment that messes with people the most. You're sitting there. You're staring at the report. Words like unremarkable, no abnormal findings, everything looks fine. Your doctor smiles and says, good news, your brain is normal. But your life doesn't feel normal. You forget conversations you just had. You walk into rooms and forget why you're there. Your energy crashes for no reason. Your focus is shot. Your mood is off. You don't feel like yourself anymore. And after hearing everything looks normal, you start questioning yourself. Is this stress? Am I imagining this? Let me be very clear with you. This is not in your head. You didn't fail the test. The test failed you. Because a standard MRI was never designed to find the kind of damage most concussions and mild brain injuries actually cause. Think of it like this. A regular MRI is like taking a satellite photo of a city. From way up in the sky, everything looks fine. The buildings are still standing, the streets are still there, nothing looks collapsed or destroyed. But what if all the traffic lights are broken? What if the power grid is down? What if the internet is out across the entire city? From space, it looks normal, but on the ground, nothing works. That's exactly what happens with many brain injuries. The structure looks okay, but the function is a mess. MRIs are fantastic at spotting big problems like tumors, bleeding, strokes, or swelling. Those show up clearly. Those are hardware issues. But concussions usually don't break the hardware. They scramble the wiring. Inside your brain are billions of tiny communication cables called axons. These cables let different parts of your brain talk to each other. During a fall, a car accident, or a hard hit, your brain shifts inside your skull, and those tiny wires stretch and twist. They don't always snap. They just get frayed and become damaged. It's like a phone charger that looks perfectly fine, but only works if you bend it in a certain way. That microscopic damage is called diffuse axonal injury, and most standard MRIs simply can't see it. In fact, most mild brain injuries, up to 90%, look completely normal on regular scans. So if your MRI was normal, you're not the exception, you're the rule. But here's the part that gives people hope. We now have better tools, newer tools that can see what old scans miss. Tools that don't just take pictures, they measure performance. Because sometimes the problem isn't what your brain looks like, it's how it's working. In research settings, there are scans like diffusion tensor imaging or functional MRI that can detect these hidden issues, but they're expensive and hard to assess. Most people never get them. So we need something practical. Something affordable, something that can actually help guide treatment. And this is where most people make the mistake that keeps them stuck. They stop looking for answers after the MRI. They assume nothing can be done. They wait, they rest, they hope time will fix it. All of this leads to one simple truth. A normal MRI does not mean a normal brain. It just means the damage is happening at a level that old technology can't see. That's why I use brain mapping called qEEG. Instead of taking another picture of your brain, qEEG listens to it. It measures your brain's electrical activity in real time. You wear a cap with small sensors, and we create a map of how different parts of your brain are communicating. I've had patients sit in my office and cry when they actually see their brain map. Not because it was terrible, but because it was proof they weren't crazy, proof something was real, proof there was a reason they felt the way they did. That moment, that validation is powerful, because once you understand what's happening, recovery stops feeling hopeless and starts feeling rational. And what we often see after a concussion is exactly what you'd expect. Some areas are firing way too fast, like the gas pedal is stuck down. Other areas are barely firing at all, like the lights being dim. And sometimes regions that should be talking clearly aren't talking at all. That miscommunication is brain fog. That's fatigue. That's memory problems. Not visible damage, but poor communication. For many people, seeing their brain map is the first time they finally see proof that something's really wrong. But here's the really encouraging part. Disconnected brains can reconnect. Your brain isn't frozen in time. It's adaptable. It can rewire itself. It can rebuild new pathways. It can heal. So once you can see those patterns, you can train them. That's where neurofeedback comes in. Neurofeedback is basically physical therapy for your brain. While you watch a movie or play a simple game, the system monitors your brain waves live. When your brain shifts into a healthier pattern, the screen rewards you. When it drifts into inefficient patterns, the reward pauses. Your brain naturally learns what works better. No shocks, no drugs, no invasive procedures, just training. Over time, those healthier patterns stick and the brain rewires itself. Connections strengthen, energy improves, and this is when people tell me, I finally feel like myself again. Because we're not masking symptoms. We're retraining the system. In a healthy brain, the flow is smooth and organized. In an injured brain, it becomes chaotic and disrupted. It's like watching traffic patterns instead of just looking at a map. And the reason all of this works comes down to something called neuroplasticity. Now, don't let that word scare you. It simply means your brain can change. It can reshape and rebuild itself. Think of your brain like a forest trail. The more you walk one path, the clearer and easier it becomes. The grass flattens, the dirt packs down, and it turns into a smooth trail. But what if that trail gets blocked? Maybe from an injury. You naturally start walking a new route. At first, it's slower and harder, but the more you use it, the stronger it gets, until that new path becomes the new normal. That's exactly how your brain works. The connections you use grow stronger, and the ones you don't use fade away. So when we use things like neurofeedback, neurological therapy, or targeted training, we're simply helping the brain practice better paths until they stick. That's neuroplasticity. And that's why healing is possible. Because your brain isn't broken and it's always trying to rebuild if you give it a chance. And remember earlier, I told you there's one mistake almost everyone makes after a concussion. That's quietly keeping their brain stuck. This is it. Most people are told to rest and just wait. And that sounds logical. Rest heals injuries, right? But here's the truth nobody explains. After the initial healing phase, too much rest can actually slow brain activity, because your brain is not a broken bone. It's a communication network, and communication networks only improve when they're used. After the early healing phase, too much rest can actually slow recovery because movement, balance, vision, coordination, and sensory input are the signals that tell the brain how to reconnect. When those signals disappear, the brain has nothing to train with. So the circuits say weak. It's like trying to rebuild muscle when never using it. Time alone does not rewire the brain. Stimulation does. And here's the part that scares a lot of people, but shouldn't. Mild symptoms when you challenge your brain are often not signs that you're damaging it. They're signs that the system is waking up. Like the soreness that you feel after your first workout that you haven't done in years. Brains don't heal from silence. They heal from stimulation. Recovery happens when the brain is retrained, not when it's parked. And that realization changes everything. But it needs the right support, the right specialists, the right therapy, the right plan. Because once you understand what's actually happening, recovery stops feeling mysterious and starts feeling predictable. So if you've ever been told that your skin is normal while you feel anything but normal, please really hear this clearly. What you're feeling is real. The problem isn't that nothing's wrong. It's that the injury is happening at a level older technology simply couldn't see. For years, we've been using the wrong tools. But that's changing. Now we have better ways to measure what your brain is actually doing. And most importantly, we can now train it and improve it. And this is where you take your power back. Don't just accept everything looks normal and walk away. Search for a functional neurologist or a clinic that offers brain mapping and neurofeedback. These are professionals who focus on how the brain functions, not just how it looks on a scan. Because when you finally test the right thing, you can finally treat the right thing. And if this helps you see brain injuries differently, subscribe to the Rest of the Story Health channel. We uncover what's been missed, misunderstood, or never fully explained, so you can stop guessing and start healing. Because now you know the rest of the story, but it's what you do with this information that counts. That's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. The next video is right here. Go ahead and click it. And if I've earned it, smash that like button and subscribe so you'll never miss what's coming next.